speaking the hat. Wonderful day. So, folks, the sounds and video. Thanks for joining us once again. To all of you watching us from wherever you are listening to us, this is your program, and this is where Liberia moves. We are in the month of our independence celebration, 179 in the next couple of days. Liberia turns 179 with a lot of challenges ahead, a lot of successes over the period of time from government in the past and present, and all of these things. So we would like to say to all of you, we urge you, as usual, to always remain kind. Peace is all that we have. And in the absence of that, a lot of things that we talk about, a lot of the things that we want to see, we will not achieve that. So we will all have our differences, whether it's based on religious line, tribal line, political line, or relationship, whatever. It's good that we all maintain the peace because we are all collectively the custodians of the peace that we enjoy today. So that's why we always caution Liberians. You must respect the next person. If he decides to join this church or this house, or want to be part of this religion, or want to be part of this political party, let that person be respected. It should not divide us. We saw exactly what took place during the heyday of our crisis in this country. So, and we still been divided up to this time, especially with the kind of a politics that we practice in Liberia. But I'd like to say good morning and welcome. The biggest showpiece on earth in terms of men's soccer came to an end yesterday evening in the United States of America, where the defending champion Argentina got defeated 1-0 to former world champion Spain 1-0. So it was good. Our sports team will be here at 9 o'clock this morning to fill us in with all of the details from Liberia and other international sporting events that took place over the weekend. So it's good that, so I know people's cheering. There are a lot of arguments there, they exist. And this person was this, that person was that, and all of these things. But it's good that we are here this morning. We're going to talk about that. There is something trending, and it had generated huge comments and view. So, I thought to bring it this morning. And before that, Liberians, we need to understand certain things. There are some things that we are lacking behind in this country. That's why you see where we are today. And we've got to be honest to ourselves. Like somebody would say, we are our own problems. This tendency that when you are within, you don't speak, have placed our leaders into position that they see themselves as demagogue, people who are infallible, people who do not make mistakes. Respectfully, you might disagree. Whether that person likes it or not, maybe the only thing say, please move from here. But sometimes because of the way we want to protect our jobs, we think we must just accept anything or just allow things to go, even if it is wrong. And Liberians, a lot of you are sycophants. I'm going to be honest with you. When this government came to power, after massive campaign of fighting drugs, corruption, cultural impunity, a whole lot of things, wanting to fix roads, healthcare delivery system to be better, all of these things, infrastructure. These are things Liberians want to hear, they want to see. They travel, they come back, they see the country still almost the same. And the government got voted in power. She's staring at as the head of state of the country, the father of the nation. Issue a couple of executive orders, one of them establishing the Access and Poverty Recovery Team, headed by Councilor Clark Edwin Martin. And The purpose is to retrieve government properties or stolen wealth or even money that were intended for the public and individual. We have to pocket it. And looking at some of the proximity of the presidency where people were serving in key positions. So there are folks, after corporate investigation, or some of them were invited to answer a few questions. How did you acquire this? Let's see your document and all of these things. Can you produce the procurement? Look at your receipt, these structures. You own certain amount of properties. How did it come to the country? Let's look at the channel. All of these things. There are a couple of officials who serve in the immediate past government. And a lot of us in the country believed that it was a political wish of, or it is still a political wish of calling people from the immediate past government, meaning that the United Party-led government is witch hunting people from the CDC-led government. So there were divided opinions and views on this matter, and some of the individuals were called to answer for the stewardship or to give account of properties they acquired that the team believe there are a lot of suspicions into it, and so you need to come clear. So a couple of names, and one of those names that were mentioned and were asked to go and clear out and tell about the worth of properties and the kind of assets that she has as the former executive marshal and chief of protocol to President Weah, Madam Nora Fina Bondo, that normally people call her the rescue mother. And you know this name, during the 6 years of the CDC-led government, was a household name. And everybody, there are a lot of folks who say all the good thing about her. Oh, she was nice. She was giving money, so she would give money to this person and all of this. And there were a lot of praises for her. So when she was called, at first, by the Irish team, the Liberian to some extent started to resist that she would not go there and she must not go there. Some of the folks, the likes of former Representative Moses Gray, they were all saying, I will not go there. And to a lawyer and other things, we were also around and said, no, she want to go to court. She's not submitting herself to anybody. So it went on and on. There was this arrest issue for her, but she was not in the country later on. And everybody thought that she has gone and she has come there. She was not come back. So after a long period of time, why the arrest? Warrant was still active. What happened? What did not happen? She came back to the country. And she was later taken to the court to answer for what the asset recovery thing presented to the court, talking about acquiring millions of dollars, money laundering, economic sabotage, misuse of public funds, and there were a whole lot of charges against her. So there was this surety bond that was signed for her. And the thing argue against that, look, the folks who signed this thing, and later there was this something to go and have to redo it because she risks going to jail. The matter stayed before the court, and we are not judging it and not making conclusion. I'm getting to where I want you to understand. And the last time we saw her, when she appeared to the court, we saw a lot of women. We were told that these women were religious people. They are going to pray for her. Even before she entered the courtroom, there was prayer offered for her outside. Even after, and everybody, but this woman being perceived or alleged to be a criminal. And we see our religious people are marching in solidarity with her, standing by her. Probably every good deserve another. The hands that she be stretching, or some of these people say, oh no, we should not sit and watch her fall. We will be there with her. They were there. And over the weekend, something happened. She went to lay her father to rest at the funeral service. Noel Finabono. And she paid tribute. Her tribute now has turned the entire internet in Liberia into the biggest warfare. She's been called ungrateful. The woman who now was just yesterday been healed, even at the court being protected. The very people who stood by her, they're now calling her criminal, calling her the rogue, and they will expose her even more. So we come back to us as Liberian. You know, so that when we're talking some of these things here, you ought to sit and be getting vexed and be sending text. But the very people, now you know how to be rogue now. Because you went and paid tribute. And the name George Weah was not mentioned. So it became that she's ungrateful. But why she gonna say, Thomas Father, thank you. Joseph Boakai, thank you. So you see. So in this country, even if you are hurt, you should still show gratitude when somebody is showing ingratitude. So I still do not see what's the issue in that matter. Because Honorable Nazareth came here, represented former President Weah, and said he would have loved to be there. But you know the former president being on a special duty in America for FIFA. And he sent his tribute that was paid on behalf of him by the former Minister of Foreign Affairs. But yet, she been bullied and been said all sorts of things. Some of the folks, you know. And she said something, her own people, that's what she said. Her own people wanted her in prison, but God prevented it. Then on the other side, when you read some of the comments, I hope people are listening and understanding. People are saying, oh, because she Gisi, that the Gisi solidarity, why she calling Fala. So she going to join Fala now. So Sam Fala was being called rogue at the time by the Unity Party. Today he supports Joseph Boakai, who he has said he Kingsman have established an institution to give support up to 2029. Now they're saying now she going to join her brother. She gradually moving over to the Unity Party. So what if she was in the difficult time? And you all telling Honorable Maggie, thank you as well. And other folks who call her over the period of time. It has turned out into something else. So we now know that this woman that wrote, because she's saying her own people. That's why she claimed that her own people wanted her in prison. And she thanked President Joseph Boakai, Deputy Speaker Thomas Fala, and others, she says, stood by her through a difficult period where things were not okay. Thomas Fala stood by me. He said, he is my own. I have come to say thank you. And some of the folks now are saying, no, she's doing it yet. So she can. The matter is still before the court. She was like only paying gratitude to those who stood by her in this difficult period. The government has not dropped charges against her. So what's the issue that she would be saying now by her own people? They're going for her. In fact, that more details will come out. Some of the folks who attended the funeral, right after that, they started to post. They were exposing. You see, and some of these things, we tend to overlook it. And that's why We have not been able to develop our country, develop institutions. We are hurt bitterly in this country when certain names are mentioned or those names are not mentioned. So she's been seen as somebody who is ungrateful. And one of the texters said, blood is thicker than water. Gizi people are really united no matter what their political differences. You see. And she also needs to understand that, look, Banafina Bono, going to court does not necessarily mean that people are enemies to you. The law is the law. There was some who stood, and that's why you see, we have always said these things. And when we say this, sometimes you overlook these things. That's why we have not practiced this thing of standing and watching the law take its hold in this country. We think that people going to court and you get crowd following you, it changes the result or the outcome of the ruling. The matter stay in court. The government have not dropped the charges. Okay, we'll drop the charge, or Executive Clement say, oh, let her go. No. Because if Finadita, so I'm joining this party today, some of the things you will hear those who've been surrounding her will shock you. You see today, you find people healing President Joseph Boakai. He will tell you all the good things about him. But just as he leaves power, some of the folks that you will hear say some things will shock you. But these things are normal. But for Liberia, no. You are not to see anything when you're in the party. They see that as party discipline. Even if there's wrong, you should not. And we have seen that from the past to the present. The former spokesperson of the CDC for the campaign, Councillor Kanu Bagbala, the very first day he wrote on his social media handout praising President Boakai, people went for him. That he's a sellout, he's seeking job, he want to do this, he want to do that, and that's why he's doing this kind of thing. And you know, when he said again another thing that look, the CDC should look beyond 2029. Or George, we are there young potential people. Oh no. Today he's still being referred to all sorts of names. We saw that with the Deputy Speaker, Thomas Fala. When he was expelled from the party, he went to Unity Party homecoming. There were a lot of things about him again. Saying he was one score rule. He went to the Unity Party and he made it clear that look, I'm not joining Unity Party. I'm come to support my kinsman. Joseph Boakai was a kinsman. And my kinsman even went on to establish a movement that would support him. Even some folks within the Unity Party still having problem with that. Like if you want, let the Minister of Local Government and human and other folks, if you want to jump in the water, you jump there, you know that you get wet. And some who even accuse him, pointing finger that that movement will end up turning into a political party. So all sorts of things. And he too said some things. When the folks started to launch attack, and he said he still respects the former president, his big brother, and stay his leader. But there were things that were said in the process. Now look, he urged the former president not to even bother himself to contest. He should go relax, take care of his grandchildren, or do some other things. And not go say, oh no. Sir Joseph also left the party. For Fala, he did not leave, he was expelled. And Sir Joseph now has a political party. And he's been spilling out some things. Noah Finabono, one of the most popular names during the CCVJ, is now facing trial. But on Saturday, she paid tribute to people. Why she was paying tribute for her father, your late father? She told the deputy speaker, thank you. She told the president, thank you, and the government. And she claimed that her own people wanted to see her in prison. And now she's been referred to as somebody who is ungrateful. Somebody writing that would know all the things you did, you stole. And there are folks who also believe that if you are revealed that she stole and we were closer to the executive mansion, where do you leave the ex-president? It's the same with some of the fingers that have been pointed at this government. Some of the folks that allegation in the public with the proximity to the president. Nobody wants to believe so easily that he's not in the know. So this is the culture that we have seen. We hail the people today when they are down, we castigate them. So let's take for instance, why if during her bereavement, the former president did not call her a single day to tell Finasawa or even send a text? Because what is happening? Because let's be frank, it stunned everybody to have listened to Finabono paying tribute or telling people thank you, who stood by her without mentioning the name George Weah, who would have believed or thought that would have happened. Is there a fallout? Is there something smelling? Will she now open up that she took instruction to? Yeah. We all been seeing something smelling. Well, if you now say, look, I can no longer hold this, I can no longer be used as scapegoat, I will confess and say, these properties are not mine. I was the go-between. Or these properties were acquired with the knowledge of this person or that person. Because the same will be said tomorrow about this worker, this president. He knows he's not off the hook for that. Sometimes we leave positions in this country before we speak. And at times, I will always say this thing. It don't help. It don't change. Because you are part of that system. Either you are giving marching order, it's when you want to speak because there's a bad blood running. So you decide to speak. And those are things that have kept us behind. Sometimes you sit in positions, you see some of the instructions that come from the heart up. You follow these instructions. We're not even taking into consideration that tomorrow there's a tomorrow and you will be judged for it. Or you will answer questions. You have seen in the past and present some of our officials who took instruction. You saw the former defense minister and others. When soldiers' money was misappropriated, they were sent to court. They were convicted. Later suspended. Those sentences were suspended. And at the end of the day, that man contested in the election in Lofa. National Election Commission announced that he was the one who won. Later, the Supreme Court ruled, and they declared vacancy in Lofa County. He did not take a seat. He did not take a seat. And at the end of the day, there was a by-election there. Samuel Toya came again with the same that, and others, that they took instruction for security reasons, the threat for the election. And he stayed on this. The matter stayed ongoing as it relates to jury tampering. Though he was acquitted, but it is believed, allegedly, there was some tampering that took place, and the investigation is on. So he himself still not totally free man. Oh yeah, we took instruction. Today, one person who also stood by the former president. And now we just getting to know that Tomposa, and fingers also been pointing out that she was the cause of the defeat. Some of you who used to say we don't want, say she was the cause. Some people say when we used to go see the president, on finance, you can't see. But I say you will see. So we know now that that's the kind of how powerful she was. So they're shifting the kind of blame on her, but they were exposed her before 2029. But I will take this break quickly and be right back this morning. Liberia must get better one day.
I'm in the midst of protesters. The protesters on self-defense. They had to protect themselves, and they didn't have that. No one knew it was a police officer. He did not identify himself. Okay, he was a common criminal in the midst of protesters. So they were under pure obligation to have protected themselves because the police was around. They didn't come in to help those who were in police uniform.
There are reports that the officer identified himself, and
I'm telling you,
he is an undercover.
No, let me tell you, whether undercover or not, he did not identify himself. That's the first thing. Okay, the police are accused the protesters of having armed and ammunition and what they call disturbance.
Okay.
So to plant somebody in the midst of the protesters to eliminate Mr. Mobake Molu, okay, and other people saw him banishing arm in the midst of protesters. What will you do? Will you not take self-defense?
What do you make of this entire procedure, declaring Mr. Molu from last night as dangerous?
The entire thing is politically motivated. I can tell you that. Yeah, Molu is a political prisoner as I speak to you now. It's politically motivated. It's a calculated attempt by the regime. People went to the police station, went yesterday to protest. They were protesting against the $19 million judge, against the government inability to ensure that this thing is properly adjudicated, because the first family, President Mbeka and his family, they are involved into this just deed. Okay? So
understand and look at some of these things. She said, my own people. Why if she was talking about her family members, or probably close friends, or people that she expected to have stood by her? You see? And there are a lot of other things, to talk about. But this is something that's trending on the social media. So we thought to bring it to the public, that the public understand. Sometimes we make the kind of a conclusion, He said, oh no. The woman did not do anything. The woman was nice. You can be a philanthropist and still be rude. You can be a philanthropist and still be someone who is bad. How much person in Liberia do we know how they acquire the properties or how they get the money? We all just get, oh, the man got money, the woman got money. So they feel good that they will do. When these people are called to answer questions, you feel obligated because this person has done you good before. But not to watch the process and say, look, we want impartial investigation. Because people are making conclusion now. People are making conclusion that she's doing it so the government can forgive her. The matter is to the court. Allegedly, the money that she took, she did not take it from Barker's pocket. The charges on her talk about public funds. Money laundering from one side to another. And all of these things. So we will look at these things and you have the time to talk about it. Now, let's come back to this team, this organization called STAY. Liberians, how do you see this? How do you see the march, the protest on Friday? You know, it is not just about the protest. It is the constitutional right for people to turn out and urge the government to do the right thing. And the Constitution provides that for them. But there are more questions being asked about the leader. Is it now more being seen as an activist or still see that political zest stays in him? Because what we see most of the time, we are not seeing civil society grouping standing, most of the religious community that some years back, you could see these people were all into protest or ushering the government, going on strike to make sure that these things are happening, all of these things. Is Molu actually proven to be an activist? Or stay in up wearing the political garment and want to hide on the issue of social society group? See some of the folks who are surrounding. See some of the folks. He invited people from political parties. Where were the presidents? And some were asked, did the government do well on Friday? Did the protester also do well? And these are some of the things that we continue to ask. One minute you're into politics, the next minute you turn to activist. And your advocacy always just been pointed at individuals, people who in government position, and sometimes not just addressing the crisis in the country. And people will always ask, some of these things that you are calling for actually is germane. No if and about it. That's reality. But one may ask, These calls that have been made by you, these things are things that have took place. And that's the reason why we will always say to this government, there is no chance for excuses. Liberians don't want to hear these things. When you ask for something and it's given, it must be managed properly. If you ask to change a particular system and they give that system to you, that system must be changed. So people are asking. We've been having drugs issues in this country for a long period of time. That's true. And it's still happening. But can we continue to be silent? No. But who are those? Because some of the folks who are speaking were into key positions to make decisions, to condemn some of these things. They remain taciturn. Now they want to speak. We have to be real with ourselves. And to the young people, look, sometimes when people are calling you out, sit and critically critique them before you join the struggle. You should be asking, is this struggle worth it? Am I factor into this struggle? Or this person want to show that he has the number of wanting to score a political goal or to bring themselves to the public and impede fear in the government? Look, let me make you to understand, I'm still around. We have the numbers. You listen to Stand Chairman Mulu. He said his character is 10 times better than Joseph Boakai and his government. The two of them, when it comes to character, he built his character over the years than the president. And you know this man. Or some of you probably you were kids. When this is the man who told us that he met Barack Obama. Only for the U.S. to clarify, the U.S. embassy, other folks know there was no meeting. Nobody knows about it. Where did it meet? Nobody knows. In Ghana. There are stories that he was pastor, people scheming people, allegedly. This man became chairman of the ruling party at the time, CDC. Very powerful. That is a powerful person in the political party. Sometimes some of you don't know the party structure, so you get things when it says stand up there. It's the political leader. But when it comes to the administrative structure, the chairman sits and holds the gap. And we saw the issue of drugs. Even Honor Ellen, we still had the issue of drugs. But it started to get worse because there was not much effort put into it by then by her in her government. So we started to see the proliferation of ghettos. And we did not keep our eyes on it. So we later, Fred, people were just smoking the little honey around here. And we started to hear names of other drugs entering the country with high content, narcotics and other things. The harmful substances started to hit the country. We started to see young people going astray, old people going astray. Promising young men and women started to have a dark future. Mulu was chairman of CDC with the $100 million worth of drugs into this country. Maybe you can remember, but I can't remember reading a single line from the party's chairman at the time talking about probing into that matter investigation. Because you were also part of the guarding system leading the country. It borders around our country's image, like we're talking about the 19 million cocaine. This is not a play. But when we're leading advocacy, and you sit from the fire, and you see that this person is more political than being an activist, and you allow the folks Some of the folks who were there interviewed, they're more talking about politics than talking about advocacy. And to you mothers, sometimes we say these things and people think that we're joking or when we're talking some of these things. Parents in this country, most of the parents are no longer parenting well. Some of the parents today cannot advise the kids and for the kids to take it. And some of the kids will not listen to those pieces of advice because they know exactly what they see. Sometimes, in some instances, the kids are the one who even advising parents. If that woman who almost took off her clothes and that gone viral at the protest ground, if she had been handled by police and that part of her body was shown, today you will hear all the different condemnations coming from the religious community, women groups. They will say they're going to protest, they're going to march. They are sitting. You know what that woman did to you women in this country? When somebody says something about the other person, you're joining the street. You ask for something. And that is not something that got immediate answer. Even if President Biden come and stand before you people, you think that drug matter solved? If you have come and say, yeah, I'm here to receive the petition, the matter solved? This thing, investigation is still ongoing. There are other names that are coming up. And they said the investigation is not closed. There are folks who've been charged. And some of them were charged in absentia. They're not in the country. But all modalities can work out to see how best they can have them in the country. And other folks are asking other international partners to help with the investigation, even including the Secretary General of the CDC, Jefferson Koji. He has requested that the U.S. Embassy in Monrovia to support an international investigation into Liberia's 19 million cocaine kids. It's a very good call. I will tell you some things. It's a very good call, and that's why we're all asking. But would the U.S. government listen to this man who is a sanctioned person? We are not even getting report of the Mangibi County health team reportedly had a dedicated ceremony where Senator Emmanuel Nukwe, who is also sanctioned, grace the occasion, makes a donation and whatever in the process. And we are told, reportedly, that the health ministry also being warned by the support from the U.S. They are doing business with the people. They will draw down all of the support. So they're doing their work behind the scene, trying to see how they can give other things back and do some other things. Even staff quarter that was renovated whatsoever, it became a serious problem. You know the people will not listen to you. And the sanction that is placed on you tells that people should not do business with you. So these calls should come. These are good calls. But when these calls are coming from the kind of people, the people say, oh, but you're serious. And that's why folks are asking that the government officially write the United States government, or right, the UK, the European Union, and other places, people who are more sophisticated, where experts can look at the trail of the drugs, they will know the route it passed through before getting here. So, mother, and you look at the clothes you're wearing, white, that stands for purity. You go and want to strip yourself naked. Women threatening to naked themselves. What is Liberia turning into? The last night we saw a group of women the to the court. They said that prayer mothers. We saw women again behind Mobile Molu. Some threatening to naked themselves. Some people went afar and showing things. You see? And all of these things are things that we tend to overlook. And don't forget, Molu still remains a member of the CDC. He resigned as chairman, suspended his membership to focus on advocacy. So what difference it make? Because most of the time, some of the folks you see were folks who were all around him when he was chairman. And these calls are good calls. How many persons want to listen to it? And that's why you see under the watch of this government, if agriculture does not improve, if Liberia do not reach a level where to some extent we can feed ourselves, I mean, that would be one of the biggest failures of this government, because the president that we have today comes from that background. So whether he goes to sleep, what miracle he thinking on, what magic he want to perform, Liberians expect the agriculture sector to improve under his watch. That's the reason why you see people today still point finger at former President George Weah that he came from the soccer world, played football, achieved almost every individual accolade that is there on the stage to collect. But under his watch, Liberian soccer went on a major decline. Because you know why people thought? Making the next president soccer will improve in next one. Because former world best, African best, the national team will improve. The grassroots soccer will improve. There will be more investment into soccer. Today you complain that you do not see it. So it's the same with Bwakai. Because everybody expect and know that he has the knowledge and knows and got the tenacity to make things happen for the agriculture sector to improve. So if under his watch it doesn't improve, that would be probably a major failure, because that's his area. So you see, we can always leave position before we speak on issues. We can't. And this is killing Liberia. Only wanting to have the job, so you accept anything or you allow things to happen. What would have happened if you have issued a press statement urging your government at the time to properly investigate that matter and not just do it? Though the matter went to court, yes, there were people who were arrested. But at the end of the day, what government presented at the time was not sufficient enough to convict these people. So at the end of the day, the folks are released. We failed to ask at the time where the drugs came from. And that's the question we have been missing. That's we just see these things collected from the port of entry, wherever. And the world was shocked after all the international support, all the intels that we got for that $100 million drugs. We failed the people. We failed them. The largest drug burst in our country history. And right after that, we helped with another 40 million. Today, high-grade cocaine worth millions of dollars in government hands right now. We're about to be exported. People going to the street. But who taking them to the street? And you're calling for people to be investigated. You're calling names. Linking them, allegedly. But those things were things that you did not do yesterday when that 100 million cocaine, as chairman of the party, to say, no, Mr. President, I get a report that this person in government, this person doing business, this person, this, are involved in it. These people must face prosecution. You did not do it. It is not bad with your call. But you see, there are times in life people respect and honor you when you sit in a particular position and do the honorable thing. I know people in this country who've been involved into advocacy have never get involved into politics. Even if they're into politics, you don't know. Okay.
Other people went out to peacefully protest, and President Boyka does not feel satisfied about this, so they passed instruction, in fact, to have Mr. Mulba Molu killed in the protest action. Unfortunately for them, the undercover did not succeed in that direction.
They are bullying her. They after her. Now they have identified her now as criminal. But when she's been called to answer, it was being perceived because she served under the former regime. So they're going after that regime. That's why they asked her to answer and being charged. She stayed in court. She stayed in court. So folks, this is where we are. This is Liberia. And you will listen to exactly all of the things that were said. All of what happening in our country. Don't waste your time. Keep your text. I mean, some people, simple logic. You want to understand. How can you tell somebody, oh yeah, they hardly text you that, and you keep texting them? I mean, something must be wrong. Something must be wrong. Yeah. That energy and zest you get, use it for something meaningful. Send text to somebody who you haven't seen before for a long time to check on them. Because I don't read these things. Don't waste your time with it. I told you, only next year, by the end of the year, you get the biggest text of your life. So for now, if you're smart enough, you would not even bother to send a text. Because you sit there and say, but I'm making myself a fool. Because how can I be sending messages to somebody and the person not even replying me? What is happening to me? It said that I need some mental rehabilitation or something. And you ask yourself some of those questions. But we'll go to the lines on 0775 919 919 0880 919 919. We'll take some calls and move into our next talking point this morning. So we'll go to the lines this morning. 0775 919 919 0880 919 919 are the numbers you can be part of the conversation this morning. Please move away from your monitor if you want to get on the lines. The lines currently activated, and speak with civility. Please respect the views of others and speak to exactly what been discussed in the last 1 hour and some minute. So let's hear from you on the lines now. On 0775 919 919 0880 919 919 are the numbers you can call us on to be part of the conversation. Let me talk to this caller on the line. You're live. Friend, you're welcome. Okay, thank you. We just go to summarize everything, make a point this morning, your life.
Yeah, good morning, Wiki.
Good morning.
This is my very first time calling you. Please don't be angry for the way I will talk. But they touch me for Fina Bono. So make a statement without mentioning upon this something happened. Because upon that I know. So now identify itself with Fina Bono. That is not true. But something, you know, that politics now.
But how to call Madam, yeah, the former Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Dimaso, came out there and he paid tribute on behalf of the former president. But people still think that something happening behind the scene.
Yeah, but I'm very thinking of, but I look at it to be like politics. Something wrong somewhere.
Okay, so what's your take on that mother? You're a lady who half naked herself, showing part of her body that should be covered.
But that was not fair. That was not fair. She wrong. What she did was not fair. If you want to pay your petition to the government, it's not a rightful way of disgracing woman who. You can express yourself in a way if any other than the president will listen to you, not by naking yourself. I don't say we have jobs and children around here, and we pray for them. But I'm not supposed to get myself on the street.
Okay, thank you.
I've been listening to you for you.
Yes, thank you. At least today you managed to be on the radio. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Wiki.
Okay, Winston.
Yeah, Winston and there are joining from People Room. Thank you for your show this morning. There are a lot of things that you said that we need to keenly look at. You know, we the Nigerians, we are going to forget. Those sanctioned officials of government, we were told not to do business with them. But we still see people doing business with those people just because they matriculated their way into foreign space. So they are still, you know, they run here and still supplying government money that is told. And thinking that one thing you say is I want to place emphasis on is under the watch of President Joseph Yuma Waka, when the agricultural sector is not improved, we will really blame him because this is where he came from. This is why we said for the former President George Weah that, you know, he's a career and satisfied footballer. So under his watch, those teams did not improve. The same way he led the team, that the same place he led the team. So for that is why we took him out of the team. But now that President Joseph Yuma has taken his team as an agriculturist, we expect more. The agriculture that will be back. So this is what we are looking up to him. Thank you for allowing me to end of view.
You're welcome. Let's talk to other callers on the line. You're live.
Thank you so much. As executive member of Concern Nigerian for Justice, I'm Peter McCauley, and I do join petition in Montserrat County. I want to say good morning to QFN family and Nigerian people at large. Thank you so much. You know, the protest here honor the banner of state and the hair of Mother Molu. I don't think people should castigate Molu. You know, some who say they will take it themselves. Because Molu, you know, the protest that way. Molu organized the protest and people were still on the streets. But I don't think protest is the issues for is applicable to be certified. The certification of people is to be done within the airport is cantoned to the land. Because you can tell me that people are feeding hospital were complaining they are certified. No. The people who under CNC or police kill a job before, you think they're certified? No. They never not in this country on President Walker regime. They are continuing to maltreat the Nigerian people. Like, for example, you're working in a government with him and you post or you go and talk against the government.
Excuse me. You see, this is something simple I'm always talking. All of what we discuss, that's why we ask you to respond to. You go far from the type of thing. And you expect me to have you on the line. I'm going to keep you on the line thinking that you're going to actually realize and catch yourself and say, no, but this is not a discussion. We're discussing the couple of things that we discuss. You leave it and go to talk something different. You're talking about King George. That King George, we know talk yet. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Second Street,
Yes.
single.
I want to say,
You know, that's what I'm getting. I'm like, didn't.
he went there before, when the people go back to live,
So you
at
go
the
five
funeral,
again, sooner
I
or
have
faster.
funeral things to come. These people keep on local, they all are there. So maybe if they're not in good there for the
Say, behind the city hall.
enemy of what these ones are, we first of all them. They're not a place from your soul, but the place, I mean, the place for the place from your soul. I have funeral, that's a funeral, nothing will happen to that people. If I say when I go there, for people, but nothing more to this, the person I'm going to, they're not anything out. So, that's what you know. The woman I didn't want to I think that's not for so maybe that is before I get a one to one. So now push me to get it. Thank you, brother.
Okay, thanks so much for being part of the conversation this morning. Let's go to the lines and talk to other callers. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Bro.
Good morning, Kelly.
Thank you for your show this morning. You see, sometimes we can be listening to you. It doesn't mean that we don't get money, our phone will call, but we can be enjoying the show.
Oh, okay.
And then other people can be all for the call by force. Brother, what you that is line? You know, get online with you. You're being talking about your job. Every day, sometimes when you put money in the phone, you can talk about your job. What's up with the time?
Can I just leave? Can I leave it and just let discuss the topic on the discussion this morning? Just leave it.
You know, I listening to you, so I wanted to answer you now. I have a call for.
Okay. All right. Thank you for being part of the conversation. Let me talk to this caller. Good morning. 0775 919 919 080. Good morning.
Wiki, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, my name is Sil Konkan, and I call from the GNB and Chief Meeting of the National Foundation, and all of you making the letter to airport into Wiki, I've got some of your talking points this morning. Very fascinating and patriotic, but here is what I pick up on there.
Mm-hmm.
You spoke about Noah Bono being accused of the cause of George defeat. I want to say clearly, those who are throwing stones on Bono, they are getting it wrong. George Weah should be blamed squarely for his defeat. What do I mean by this? If you listen to Sam, they said it, they used $150 million.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Imagine that amount of money was extracted from the Nigerian people covered, and they made the public revelations about it. It is never a lie. I can tell you in 2020 there was a budget land at the stationary.
Okay, let us stick to the conversation, please. I don't want to also get out of the box.
So here is it. You see, if anybody who understands politics, you will rally around those who come around you for your re-election. But George Weah told the far more people that they're supporting him that he was not going to support anyone. That he even went ahead in the basket being letting him. So
for short, you should not be blamed for the defeat, as some people bullying her and posting.
Exactly, Jordan should be blamed for his own defeat. You know what I mean? So this issue of pointing head, these people are not prepared to deal with it. No one should even think about Jordan.
Okay, thank you. Let's continue with our conversation. That will be safe for another day. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
And good morning to morning. There is something gathered to we can take through this morning. All I ever is before was a moment the open up. Yes, guy don't have so that we can. This man is if God put you are going to be these people came out at no people. They just see it. Man, telephone. You know how to get. You know how much you see people talk about Bora, like you talk about and you got no, that is it. Now, we have also why you just great And you said it right. Some of these mothers are parents very well. But you can say, I'm not how to feel it happening. Is that woman good enough for me? Everything that you have to do outside, I think that just more money don't have to work. And people that come to the house, they all don't have to work. Well, I want to give the rest of that one, I can give. Let me know the one thing that about it, what amount of it. The board I don't know, know that one person, because the point I get you not just start move the pocket from. So please go back from this country.
Thank you. Thank you for being part of the conversation. Let me talk to this caller on the line. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning to the man. Well, we did it all the joining the question of disrespect that people are in this morning. Let me ask you what you were talking. So we can say good stuff for that money is not seen for protect the country. Moreover, there's so many things in government when you start there joining up with people that former president used to go and bring money and you put money in the president's hand. Money to the when we do so many things. So now today you want to be a protect evil in this government. That look you have money at hand, even that is just the protect in this country. Not that for absolutely. So what you want to do every time you go protest but in the streets they are protest for what reason? What exactly? When the government is on the record, the government is doing development, the people in the succeeding good money, all over the government is taking place in that people care. They want to be protesting. The people who are protesting are going to be like, maybe like Simon Pimenez, because they don't want to help in this country. Look, that need to show that when people, what I do, when people are give on you, so that the people every time you have to their own say, we are not even taking it for you anymore. Thank you this morning, we can
Okay, thanks for being part of the conversation. Let's talk to this caller on the line. You live.
Good morning, Mr. Brooks.
Good morning.
And Mr. Bao, wherever he is this morning.
Monsieur.
My resident this morning. Thank you for a fascinating topic this morning. Firstly, I want to thank you for the protest that were here. They were peaceful. I know that it was a few protests, but I want to thank you. There was no chaos, and I want to extend my thanks and appreciation to the police. How they handled everything. And so you just on the president on the agricultural background that we expect more from him when it comes to the agriculture. I understand that he is building a football experiment. Even do that is a plus, but we want to move from the agriculture end because the way he hail from. So we expect some of the countries that those days people used to say they are breadbasket of Liberia. We expect them from now to maybe next year to start seeing it because we have been monitoring them packaging rice, from Lofa end and from Nima, we seeing people producing oil. But we need more of this. We need more of this so we can know 2029 when we get it, we say yes. This president for agriculture background, I feel like 100%, but as for agriculture, what they want to improve, what they want to reduce. So, Mr. President, wherever you are, we want more from you and from the lady who undressed herself. Mr. Bruce, I don't know how she's feeling right now in her environment. I don't know. But if it was a man, I would do that to a lady, but now maybe you could see a group of women on the street saying, men disgrace women. But I don't know how many women are speaking or the women organization in this country, how they are speaking towards a particular issue. She disgraced our mothers And I think what she is right now, she is regretting what she did. Thank you ever so much.
Thanks for being part of the conversation. Ambassador, good morning.
Yeah, and a pleasant welcome to the folks. It's always good to be on this morning platform. You know, Liberia and Liberians, these are very important conversations to have in our democratic space. But you know, Ambassador, this thing about, we usually say and people overlook it, everybody must have their own role, their own team.
Yes.
It's becoming evident by the day in this country. And we're looking at it, and it's very serious. Every time people are formed, when they are doing these things, they don't inform the rest of other people. By the end of the day, they got loyalists, they got supporters. And this is bad. This is way, way, way out of order. And the way we see people protecting folks, allegedly, is not helping this country on a very serious note. And the young people of this country need to wake up. Those who are the political actors, they are today working, doing what they can do. They will leave the space with you tomorrow. What are you learning from them? What will you take to the next generation? Because from all indication, they are selfish, self-centered in the way they're dealing. And the young people today need to wake up and see these things. They need to see these things and make them understand that this will not always be the path for us. Because if we continue, this won't be the future for us on a serious note. You see, Liberians are still wondering why is it that they answer recovery case with Finabono is still hanging like this. And we see Scarlington is coming out, folks are saying this and saying that, and all the issues. And let me just announce to the folks, there is no amount of tears can help you when you are committed some offense against the Liberian people. No amount of tears. And our leaders today need to know, because they will be out of the position tomorrow. Let them be warned and beware that their time will come. The way they are dealing with other people, they may not have the space tomorrow with themselves. They should know this. You know, I heard about it, talk about a protest. Ambassador, we are continuing to expose ourselves in this country. On a very serious note. And we see our leaders working in positions based upon their thinking. For all fairness, I said to the folks, say no to drugs is something very important that every other Liberian wants to be a part of. But when you look critically and see, you notice that there are some intent. Yeah, there's some motive. It's not about what they say, but there's something else. They always want to keep themselves in that limelight. They always want to keep themselves as a voice. Then they use the Liberian people as a shield in the process. You know, the last time I had a protest, I said this thing. How can we go to a peaceful protest, Ambassador, and people's faces are covered? Why? How? You say you are peaceful. People's faces are covered. Why?
The protest leader face showing. You not say you're protecting him.
Yeah.
What is there to hide?
We are hiding. You say you come peacefully.
You commit a crime, how do we identify you?
How? And they just forget to know that the world has advanced so far, and Liberians among them. The social media posts, the videos are there. There are pictures, there are recordings. What's your intent? You want to do something that nobody will identify you, or you came to say something to the people, to the leaders of the nation? I hope we are learning from these things. And the young people who themselves just get, look at some of the comments I started hearing. I would nicky myself, we'll nicky ourselves. It's just how far we have gone. So we are no longer able to sit and dialogue. We are no longer able to sit and vent our anger through our words and say how hurt we are. Eh? You know, from this protest, I'm beginning to draw a lot of limelight on some issues. You know, when I listened to the president talking about the Guinea border thing, there were so many folks who were saying, "No, we are delaying. Why we can't do this? Because so many nations do." If today we have listened to some people comments, by this time we're in trouble with Guinea. Serious trouble. We will not be having this kind of space.
Suppose why are we waiting for what?
Yeah.
How we get the army for?
Yeah.
Because the way we conclude or the way we
The way we do
and it's the
things.
same thing that we're doing with it. The previous investigation on the drugs, the way we handle it, everybody we were left pens down. And you know, sometimes, like I'm always saying to you, that's not most often we jump in the middle of investigation. We don't go to the beginning to start. Or at times we conclude even before it gets started.
You know, how you're going to go protest. You see, you're peaceful. You say, I will naked myself. What bringing that one in peaceful business? Right?
Is there any form in or anything that tied to bring result instantly?
I don't understand. Even if the whole of Liberia get out and go to the president today and say, we got a petition, they will say, yeah, read the petition, give it to us. We'll look at it, right? That's it. But we turn anger to things too much. And at the end of the day, we start to see all sort of shady deeds. What will Liberia really learn? When? When will this country really learn? And those folks, they are living their dream. What they wanted to. What's about the future of the young people? You know, I see that Liberians, those who see themselves as leaders, they put their energy behind something. It's the way we can do the protest. We say, let's call a young people, let's go make one farm. Today, everybody come, take a kind of branch, this bush. Let's put another rice. Let's get in the swamp, let's plug the rice in the swamp. That by tomorrow we'll come and harvest this rice. It's those energies I apply to these things, we'll see something happening. They're planting the orange farm. That tomorrow will come here, everybody will suck orange. The energy is just something different. Just something different. And our leaders, what kind of example are they showing the nation? The generation for tomorrow. We're not saying these are not genuine calls, but the way we go about it. These are very serious and genuine calls that you sit on the table when you talk to the people who you're talking to. They will not have a word to say to you, other than to tell them to listen to you. And they all have to just agree with you. But then why we put you in the way and why we doing it? Why? Eh? We behave like Liberia will end today. Since we have this, Liberia should end today. And for all indication, you go to bed, come out, Liberia, stay here. Yeah.
But this country owes us nothing. We owe this country.
If I will go to bed, the next day we wake up, Liberia, stay here.
And stay our country.
We stay our country. And the people will have it around, they'll still be around. But why should we make it like we don't want to see? Oh, Jesus Christ. We really need to think. Imagine, I was listening to the Ghanaian president talking about African countries with a free visa, especially when you apply online. I would say, wow, why are we not engaging in that initiatives? Why are we so far from these things? Why? Eh? If we have a problem today and say we will spoil it, do we have a face tomorrow? Like I said earlier on, there's something with Guinea and Liberia. If for any reason was some poor comments. By this time, Liberia is in turmoil. Liberia is in a bittersweet condition with Guinea. When we learn the approaches we take on issue when will we learn? To the extent the very thing you speak against, the very people you vilify, that the same people you go you support. Who are you now? Are you better than the people say you criticize it? No. Because you see yourself today speaking against the same thing you want, the same thing you say you want, that the same thing you go against tomorrow. Where? Huh?
Just like we were talking earlier on, just yesterday, when they find out, but call to the court to answer some question, has she acquired property from the assets recovery when after the charges was leveled against all of these things, money laundering, abuse of public fund misuse, and all of these things. You found folks who were all at the court. Praying mother were there. Yesterday, on Saturday, at her father's funeral, she said her own people wanted her in jail so she can bury her father.
You see that?
She told Thomas Father, thank you. She told the president, thank you. She told Maggie, thank you. She told Master. The name George Weah was not mentioned. Today, she's been bullied for it. She's been called criminal. But yes, when the government leveled these charges on her, it was politically motivated, politically witch hunting. But now, it's the issue now that she's criminal, she's ungrateful. You force somebody to take good to somebody when the person not done good at a particular point in time.
Now we're hearing that she's about to be kicked out of the CDC because some of those comments never went well with them.
Yeah, when you don't
The
mention
mothers then I was beyond Finda. Then that children just see one body from in the soup.
they will burn it with hot oil.
Yeah.
And
Let
what-
those children just do some of those things. They think I put it inside, we'll keep it for tomorrow. Let me see who will touch it. And one of the children just go there.
Mhm.
You will see that reaction. But yeah, we're talking about somebody who have gone into action, have affected the country. Government calling to ask questions. Let us ascertain the facts. They say all sorts of things. Then where are we as country? Look, we
One minute we call for something to
Yeah.
take place. When the turn about to take place, we want to obstruct it. We want to make sure that it don't work. We
Yeah,
have another
and
picture for it.
And the vote we're going.
Yeah, for my engine.
You see it.
You think that the front part of where the engine is, but it's to the back.
When you think say come go inside, no, it's going to say but I told her the front part here, why here, as I hear the engine understand. How we are looking?
And this is a cause serious problem for us. If also just another side of it, with all these things that are happening, we still don't realize certain things that are affecting this country.
We don't.
And the reason why most of the time we don't have an outcome, very serious outcome for most of the things that are confronting our country is the way we politicize it and the way we make it more political. At the end of the day, you find people, look at the protest will seem more of a political protest other than people advocating to make sure that this thing can, because remark speeches that were made were all political speeches. You see? We are deceitful to ourselves.
This country.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
The voice of
Okay.
Let me say thank you. I know you are American, but when we are educated, we need we visit the human center at Agriculture. We prepare, we watch, we working around facilities and education to get the goal because we are here now. We see the people. We got people. We got different people. And what are you doing today? But what this conversation, you will learn to do something. You will learn these people for the wrong reason. You learn what
even if we have a qualification or not, you want to be somebody I have reached a time to do things for others and I live of them. What dividend is doing for them? And another thing, we will complain. We give another thing, we will complain. But it's the same, the right thing. Yeah. But the great thing, that is something that we can do different. And one day I will find that let me say that. They are not going to be different. These are the same people who do that. They got great people that are taking that for the great everything else and people opinion. But they are there who's in the process. What?
Okay, thank you. Let's talk to this caller on the line. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, let's talk to this caller. Good morning.
Good morning, information folks, and good morning, Mr. and Brown. Why we big devil when we live with the devil? That's the bigger question here. You will see people, they do that prayer. From corners to corners in their rooms. I rebuke you. I bring you and say to the Holy Ghost Father, why you burn devil when you are living with the devil? The first thing is to do now. You take and make sure that recover of that devil, where that devil is into that yard, into that house, before you can invite the Holy Spirit. You don't just get up because you want to give up because you don't want to pray, you don't want to talk. Who told you that God said for a and listen to
Webster, you get all confused. I mean, you're speaking in parables. Yeah, please come to
No, but be clear.
Be clear.
You don't have a lot of time.
Yeah. So, for this, you got now being accused of social and civic crimes about this, about that, in criminal act. But you got other people to prevent. You got a mother even worried there and taking her clothes to prevent her. She's not there. She's not that other people are worried there. In the name of she's dead. Then today now you coming back. The same people who went there to say she's different, she's not there, she's not. You coming back to the public. The same public where you want to prevent. You coming back to us now, telling us that she's here's a clear, or here's not clear, and not clear, she's into this thing, she's a criminal. Then how will that work? If the people want to do that work as a country, the government was trying to do that work, and you bother that work and saying that she's not into criminal act. So then now you coming back to us. So to propose this thing, it means that the court have already seen the devil and want to do it, but the government now is taking full control. Now, jeez.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thanks to all of you for being part of the conversation this morning. But we will talk about this. This is raising a very serious debate, Ambassador. And it's a key in Cardinal because there are thousands of young kids who are going to school, and there are folks who want to hear these things. You know, one of the well-respected females of our country and globally, Lima Bowie, the Nobel laureate, she won it along with the former president Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, and you know that's one of the most prestigious individual honor on earth. Ambassador, she said she's challenged for anybody to show in the Constitution which part of the place honorable is mentioned. That these people, she said, what pain her most when they are introducing themselves. He said, according to her, and the argument now, other lawmakers have gotten into it. She said, to be honorable, you must have years of services and you must earn it. It's a sign of respect. It's not just somebody just coming from the blue sky. You corrupt, or probably you just somebody you just want the title. So we asking because this is where I'm coming. Now, if you look at the word honorable, it's an adjective that describes someone or something deserving of respect, honesty, and ethical behavior. Lima Bowie have said that we should not call these people honorable.
That happened when she took the children from across like Barrett there
Yeah.
to see the low lawmakers, but then she failed to address that honorable.
She could not address them with that
I
title.
said, but where in the Constitution honorable is to you people? And that led to the lawmakers team, the leadership team, denying her access of taking the children there. And she said $10,000 is on the table for any Liberian that will tell in the Constitution where it's honorable ascribed to these people upon. You know, Liberia, we are just like a wash grave.
And you know the part of here, Ambassador, they are from her statement or right out, you know what happened there now? They are more concerned about the title. You know what are some of these lawmakers are saying and asking themselves, you know, do I deserve? We understand that title, honorable also as well, Ambassador, is also in many political or judicial systems, particularly in the Commonwealth country or in the US, you will talk about when you have an honorable, it's an official prefix, you know, it shows respect for the office someone holds. So, and Memabri Mensa is saying they did not just wake up in the morning and that position is given to them. It's given to them through the title of the office. It's not individual, but because where they sit in that position. But the other argument now, are they asking themselves, you know, or looking at the behavior? Because it's also honorable talk about ethical behavior, honesty. So they need a title, all of them wanting to earn it, deserving it.
And of which she has seen that none of them is wearing such a character.
Yeah.
None of them is behaving in the manner in which that title should be ascribed to them. Because it's by your dealings, you are able to be given such a title. Not by you just sitting in the office honorable. Why are you being honorable and you are behaving in a dishonorable manner? How will we term you?
Because if, from all indication, their character at stake has been shown to the world, to the public. Now, when somebody of this caliber can tell you that you are not conducting yourself or you don't deserve this title, it worries them. So many, the caliber leaders we are having, are they concerned about whether they can change the behavior?
They were ashamed that the one was saying, you can't see the people who see the honorable. See them.
Yeah.
So they were saying now they should have been presented in a manner like they are honorable people. You can't see the honorables. But you put on
every time when we say these things, sometimes people try to overlook it. You see, at the end of the day, even some of our astute lawmakers who are there doing the honorable thing know that the responsibility, you see, they've all been caught up into that way. Because you see, look, tell them as a character, you see,
somebody come from Bapolo sign for a cross Liberia.
You know
how
they go see embarrassment.
Come and see. You see, well, are they working in a line of which they were being elected to the offices?
Will we see another?
Because the office by itself is an honorable office.
Will we see another communication on the floor again by one of the lawmakers to invite her there to further explain why they
are no more thing.
At the end of the day, Ambassador, what changes?
People doing business with that position. You go in there, you pay small thing. You won't go to you come say you saw people. Pay small to the committee, buy the water for
and you know, the reason I brought it up, I'm getting this report. And it's been reported. And it's becoming a habit. I hope some of the lawmakers are listening. Nobody should hold any contempt yet. The other say when you made a comment on the floor there that I sitting in my chamber. Yeah, remember my chamber here?
Yeah.
We are, look, it will shock you. Look, some of the lawmakers in this country are disgracing the first branch of government. For the House of Senate and the House of Representatives. Look, the kind of embarrassment. All of the privileges that are given to these people, they are seriously doing business with it.
Yeah, that business they're doing.
You know that some of the lawmakers taking money from innocent people in the name that they'll send you abroad for scholarship.
Some of the lawmakers, they do free privilege being given to them.
They're selling it.
They're selling
do business with it. Now, some of the lawmakers, let me tell you, the guys will sit, you know, because of the connection or the places, the position they sit in, they send note. People who are not even into foreign service are having service passport, give the body passport, because one lawmaker, they put a signature there, you know, somebody moved to the passport section or whatever, and reportedly, one of them just paid somebody money back because they were about to expose them.
Yeah.
Took the man money in the name of sending him Canada.
Yeah.
And you know how he paid the money?
You
You know how he paid the money? Let me tell you how bad it is. It's painful. He paid the money after taking, I think, 5,000 or 6,000 from the man. And the business can go on.
But you ain't even thinking about it.
The business can go on. No result coming. But chief, what going on? The man to start requesting for his money. To pay the man money now, no is coming there. So at the end of the day, you know what happened? Ambassador. He gave 4,000 United States dollars, reportedly, plus 1,000 coupon. The coupon what they gave you to use for the people to go to your district, go to work. Because when you told people money on a false pretense, which is criminal in nature, you using the coupon to pay the money.
When you do business with you, but you doing business with the coupon giving you.
You see, that's how people look, the kind of privileges these people. So when a woman is telling you, nobody might address you as honorable because you do not earn it, you get vexed.
The other lawmaker, because every evening when you bury, you get one hotel in the hotel. You leave on it. When the one should appeal to him, he want to pay, he want you honorable position. He wants to tell that nonsense, you want to come there and support you. And you know, I can picture everything for you, you know. I go pay the money.
You see? And look,
the ones that business doing here, why you want to carry the year? I'm getting
it embarrasses other lawmakers.
Yeah.
You know, it's painful. I know some of them driving to work. Sometimes they sit, they see how the colleagues conducting themselves. They can be thinking, I know somebody think, I want to look at it bidding for the outside. I didn't know that how people can behave here. I'm thinking this place is honorable place that when you get here, you see people conducting themselves in an honorable manner. Look, even watching session in Basel, to be frank, to really see seriousness. They all make go jump on and see what's like their other friend. So now you can't involve it, man.
The only area you see some organized process in terms of the session at the Senate. For representative, sometimes those guys will dress to the team. The just go call door in that place.
The other man will go, he just boss everybody and walk back.
Yeah.
From Antikofa. You go to
session. Start cussing.
You go to session, he just boss a minute and he go outside.
The mothers and fathers, the reason why they went there to protect, they are causing those very people there. Yeah? The other man last time, when he calls me, he said, I'm going to put him outside. He said, I can't go outside.
So that's why we call it for a total reform.
Then the man, after I say, the man, Sergeant Ankin, yeah, Ryan, the man went to the speaker, they talk. He said, okay, let him go sit down. Yeah, let him go sit down. So what in the noise was for now? You can't do that people business. Tell us, say, you leave your house, you go to school. The time you're in class, you start to make also the issue.
Now they're fighting, that the title now they're fighting for.
Yeah. Now, and they on the back. They want saying the scarce resources that are there at the house. They should be able to turn those things to education, health, growth, all issues. But now they say they want to increase the seats.
The people are definitely the speaker just announced that they have secured $7 million from the Chinese government to start the construction for the additional 16 laws because they're coming.
There are other areas where there are no schools for them to say, let's take money and give. Now, the additional 3 seats, that's a project case for one case that the most of the county. No people there. We got to give them the 45,000 for vehicle. We got to pay them every month. We got to have election for the additional people. We're not saying let's increase additional schools or let's improve the facility of schools, the hospitals. but we're increasing lawmaker. Jesus Christ.
The John Chima got burned. In split second, they were captured in the budget with all investigation for renovation. We are not even going to the election yet. You finish secure, you have to start construction. They said the blueprint already been presented.
The rain taking up those schools are in the rural areas, are more horses taking all those task horses taking all those things from the schools. Those schools are not being refurbished and placed in good condition till now. But they are only they finna get money for it.
You fast to go and sell with the Chinese to get that kind of money.
You see. So that the honorable thing
if you are innovative of such, then look around and carry that same innovation to other places. Say you are so persuasive, you know.
The small team will get. It's not a crack team to bring results. No meaning plenty. I didn't want to say we are getting a lot of results. Let ease the burden on the people there. They will say, yeah, but nothing like that. Yeah? You know? Why not small money there? The money was so paid those 16 people. We can't take it to complete roads. But we're waiting for one other country to take our taxpayers' money to give it to us as loan or grant. Eh? The hospitals. We're talking about agriculture. The clinics around in the rural parts. We're not thinking about it. You see? And the most painful thing about this is that they all said that the government, thinking that they are not part of the government.
Yeah, they are exempted.
When they are the first branch of in the economic structure of this country.
But you can yet put on the court. They're government, but they support a particular political party that have representatives and senators, but they want to exclude it.
Yeah. They will not look at it in the second branch of government. But what's that?
And that is level of deception we always talk about.
And they ain't doing nothing even educate the citizens of this country. At the end result, they just like this. Eh? Why?
Yeah. How can you be sitting at that level and tend to be in? You be taking people money from them in and in that will travel, scholarship. You should not go at bar. They would love it for somebody's scholarship. Some people, philanthropists and other folks out there say, oh yeah, we'll help 10% from your district. They come back and sell it.
That thing, when ministry agencies are having some now workshop training session across, they will lobby with that person, say, please put one person there, person go for that training. Yeah? How is it people running away? Because if you take the money, so they will manage their way too, and our minister or director there want to have good rapport with managers.
You get people on the computer scheming people. You get people telling people that you opportunity to go Canada, to go to the airport, you work, you go to school free. Then Lord make us, you get yourself involved into that same thing. Then you want to be called honorable. We can see, we know the honorable people. Not the respect to you guys.
You say honor is given to who honor is due.
Okay, folks, it's time. We go across our sports decks where Roland James been following. The man's fresh from the United States. Watching.
No matter how you put gold ring on the nose of a swan, that swan cannot tell anything different than a swan.
Roland is fresh. Damn, private jet can't remember, fresh from
Air Force One.
The man had a chance to shake Donald Trump's hand. Yeah. But I mean, what is your rank, you know? Because this is the first World Cup after, players are presented with rings as well.
Yeah.
You know, in America, most of the sports, like the Super Bowl, the NBA, those are historical things that have been kept for them. At times, they can even sell it. It's worth millions of dollars. All right. Roland is well seated. So what didn't they do kind of why
well, he cried because of the MPUB.
No, it's not just about the MPUB. Women and value shift.
No,
you what?
You feel it, man, cry.
So, but he realized. So he realized.
No, he deserves it.
He deserves what?
At that moment,
Go
you know, without the trophy, they didn't deserve it.
But man, you are not even the best player in the tournament. Why is Mumbai seen as the best player in the tournament? It's artistic out there.
The trophy, if we are given Messi the edge.
Sure. Because he took the
man can't say that school.
Pointing midfielder statistic is based on scoring and really assists. They make sure that he's punishing.
The man won the tournament at the end of the day. So everything that they feel on him.
The thing when they put together, that I think he won it. Maybe that's what he meant. So okay, let's go.
And
that he was
Did
in the
the
court
police
place.
attempt to arrest him?
Yeah, they attempted in the court jurisdiction. So I told them it's not a right thing and he cannot do it.
But do you see Mr. Molo?
That's why you see they brought him out and then
Mr.
they
Gray,
told
do
him that he's under
you see
arrest.
Mr. Molo action to keep the firearm until he's certified to be necessary?
What firearm?
To
The
keep the
police
firearm
wanted to
displayed.
assassinate some of the protesters, including Mobake Modu.
But he
That
kept
was
the
a
firearm.
calculated assassination attempt. Imagine that the police had accused the protesters, you are on public record here, had accused the protesters of having arms and ammunition and they wanted to cause disturbance. Okay, to see an unknown, unidentified criminal, okay, parading and banishing arms in the midst of protesters. The protesters under self-defense. They had to protect themselves. And they didn't have that. No one knew he was a police officer. He did not identify himself. Okay, he was a common criminal in the midst of protesters. So they were under pure obligation to have protected themselves because the police was around. They didn't come in to help those who were in police uniform.
There are reports that the officer identified himself and
I'm telling you,
he is an undercover.
No, let me tell you, whether undercover or not, he did not identify himself. That's the first thing. Okay, the police are accused the protesters of having arms and ammunition and what they call disturbance.
Okay.
So to plant somebody in the midst of the protesters to eliminate Mr. Mobake Molu, okay, and other people saw him banishing arm in the midst of protesters, what will you do? Will you not take self-defense?
What do you make of this entire procedure, declaring Mr. Molu from last night as dangerous?
The entire thing is politically motivated. I can tell you that.
Motivated.
Yeah, Molu is a political prisoner as I speak to you now. It's politically motivated. It's a calculated attempt by the regime. People went to the police station, went yesterday to protest. They were protesting against the $19 million jobs against the government inability to ensure that this thing is properly.
Throughout the coaching career. The appointment represents another major statement of intent by FC Fasel, who continue to invest in their coaching squad and also keep their team as one of the top competitors for the Liberia Football Association First Division title. Paris takes over from Italian coach Fabio Lopez, who previously led the club during his campaign in the CAF Champions League qualifier after replacing Liberian coach Matthew Duarte. Under coach Lopez, FC Fasel finished third in the LFA 2025-2026 season and gained valuable continental experience despite being eliminated in the CAF Champions League qualifiers. Former Real Mucha FC and Determined Girls midfielder Jessica Kwachi has completed a 2-year move to Matesi Women's Football Giants. Seaweed United FC, marking another significant step in her personal footballing career. The Liberian women's national team midfielder joins Suki United after gaining valuable experience in Israel with their Premier League club Hapoel Jerusalem, where she continued her development at the highest level. Kwachi's move to Matat represents a new chapter as she aims to establish herself with one of the country's top women's clubs. Her arrival is expected to strengthen Swiki United midfield ahead of the upcoming season. The talented midfielder has been consistent in international football for Liberia, representing the country on the international stage, and most recently accomplished female footballers competing abroad. Her transfer is another positive milestone for Liberian women's football, highlighting the growing number of players securing opportunities in European leagues while inspiring the next generation of female footballers back home. Liberians footballers David Connor and Sebastian Tigler are intensifying preparations with South Sudanese club Jamus FC ahead of the upcoming football season. The two Liberian players have actively been involved in the club pre-season training sections as Jamus FC fine-tuned their squad for the regional competition. With their being on the club, it has given the club a taste to feature in high-level competition. Conan and Tigler are expected to play key roles for the South Sudanese athlete as they aim to make a strong impression in the tournament. Their participation also provides another opportunity to showcase Liberian talent on the regional stage. The club competition serves as an important platform for the clubs to test themselves against elite opposition while giving players valuable international exposure. With preparations entering the final phase, both Conan and Tigler will begin hoping to carry their form into the tournament and help Jamus FC mount a successful campaign. On the international scene, Spain is crowned champions of the 2026 FIFA World Cup following a 1-0 win over defending champions Argentina on Sunday night. Both sides locked down to a goalless draw in the full 90 minutes, taking the two sides to extra time, where Nico Williams gave a header assist to Barcelona Ferran Torres to finish it for Spain in the 106th minute. That gave Spain the second title in history. Spain first won the FIFA World Cup in 2010 after defeating Netherlands 1-0 in South Africa. This now brings the final head-to-head record between Argentina and Spain to 15 matches. Argentina have won 6, Spain has won 7, while 2 drew. And in personal awards from the 2026 FIFA World Cup, Best Player of the tournament went to Rodrigo Casanti of Manchester City. Best Young Player award went to Paul Kubasi of Barcelona. Best Goalkeeper, Una Simon of Athletic Club. Golden Boot went to Kylian Mbappe of Real Madrid. Fair Play awards went to the Netherlands. Ricky, that's the sports updates.
Okay, just before we leave you, Roland, you saw the final, the Galilee Church yesterday, leading to the final. I know you openly stated your bothering of Argentina because of the Barcelona solidarity of the days with Barcelona. So, what's your own take? Did it live up to the expectation as a final?
The game was competitive, Ricky, and we expect final to play like this. It shouldn't be a one-sided game, even though Spain had huge possession, but Argentina kept holding their nerve, considering the fact that they have to hold a solid midfield, stopping the Spanish team from just penetrating. But I think the red card that came in the 90th minute was just the decider of the match. Imagine you have additional 30 minutes to play for after that 90 minutes when Enzo Fernandez received the red card. So it actually brought pressure on the Argentines. You are already not holding the ball and you are being shut down by one man. So they were just forced now to be into their back. And that brought the opportunity. The Spanish team was able to convert earlier, but that was an offside. And later on, they came back scoring that goal from Ferran Torres.
Yeah, that was.
So they had all reason to win the game after Argentina had a red card.
Okay, thank you. It's good to have you. We hope to talk to you on Wednesday.
Thank you.
All right. Roland Jane is our sports desk editor and reporter as well.
Adjudicated because the first family, President Boyka and his family, they are involved into this just deed. Okay, so Moba and other people went out to peacefully protest, and President Boyka does not feel satisfied about this, so they passed instruction, in fact, to have Mr. Moba Molu killed in the protest action. Unfortunately, arresting in the court because he has his right under the jurisdiction of the court. They wanted to have arrested him within the court.
The police attempt to arrest him?
Yeah, they attempted in the court jurisdiction. So I told them it's not a right thing and they cannot do it.
But do you see Mr. Molo?
That's why you see they brought him out and then
Mr. Gray, do you see Mr. Molo action to keep the firearm until he's certified to be necessary?
What firearm? The police wanted to assassinate some of the protesters, including Mobaki Modu. That was a calculated assassination attempt. Imagine that the police have accused the protesters, you are on public record here, have accused the protesters of having arms and ammunition and they wanted to cause disturbance.
And the joy is there. You're talking about English government or President say we're not giving them visa. They giving them visa so they disgrace actually. Sometimes someone else could go and get, how they call it, a contract with some kind of first, second division or third division and get small thing and come and pay for their parents. But the way
Yami quickly visit, Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, Liberia, for honor James Hector Wologoli, Associate Justice of the Supreme Court, Councillor Natu Oswald Twe, Minister of Justice of the Republic of Liberia, Judge Usman Fekai, President of the Trial Judges Association of Liberia and other distinguished lawyers here present, and judges, Mr. Aliu Mamadou Dia, Resident Representative of UNDP and other development partners here present, our distinguished graduates of the James A. Pierre Judicial Institute, Senior Counselor Fred Brambu, the Director, Administrator, Faculty and Staff of the James A. Pierre Judicial Institute, and Honorable Court Administrator, the Supreme Court, Mr. William B. Colley, family members and friends of the graduates, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is a profound honor to stand before you today in this historic sanctuary of justice. I owe a deep debt of gratitude to the leadership of the Honorable Supreme Court and the management of the James A. Pierre Judicial Institute for extending this solemn invitation to me to serve as your keynote speaker. To stand at this podium on the ground floor of the Temple of Justice is to be reminded of an enduring truth. Great institutions are never born in comfort. They are forged in discipline, sustained by service, and measured by the impact of their results. Bound by that truth, I bring you the warmest greetings from our visionary leader, His Excellency President Joseph Nimo Boakai Sr., who remains fiercely committed to anchoring Nigeria's renewal on an unyielding foundation of the rule of law. This graduation matters fundamentally because the judiciary is the final anchor of public trust. We can design the most brilliant economic frameworks and draft ambitious development agendas at the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning. And we can invite premium global capital to our shows. But if the rule of law is weak, if property rights are insecure, and if ordinary citizens or investors cannot count on swift, impartial justice, our entire economic baseline rests on sinking sand. For 16 years, the Professional Magistrate Training Program has served as the flagship laboratory of judicial capacity building in our country by recruiting 64 magistrate trainees from across our 15 counties. This program systematically attempts to solve a critical structural vulnerability. The presence of untrained personnel at the fundamental tier of our courts. This program infuses qualified and competent minds into our court system in our counties, expanding the perimeter of legal coverage directly to rural and underserved populations. What makes today exceptionally historic is a profound shift in stewardship. For over a decade and a half, previous cycles of this program relied heavily on the generous interventions of our valued international partners, including the German government, GTZ, the Swedish government through the UNDP Joint Trust Fund, and the US government through USAID. But today, Cycle 5 stands as a monumental milestone of sovereign ownership. This cycle is being funded more than 90% by the government of Nigeria through the judiciary's budget. This is clear evidence that Nigeria is ready to pay for its own institutional progress, secure its own peace, and invest directly in the intellect of its public servants. Beyond the treaty itself, the government is supporting the judicial sector through concrete investments. These include the construction and completion of cycle courts across the country, support to magisterial courts in the counties, digitizing records and proceedings, and provision of logistics for judges, public defenders, and essential personnel across 15 counties. These investments point in one direction: expanding access to justice and improving the speed, integrity, and effectiveness of adjudication. Under the rule of law pillar of the Arrest Agenda for Inclusive Development, the AID, we have intentionally matched our policy convictions with concrete budget support. We take due note and commend the leadership of the judiciary for crafting the strategic plan, which is a well-written, ambitious roadmap aimed at achieving the vision of a fair, independent, and accountable judiciary that delivers timely justice to all Nigerians and upholds the rule of law. Mr. Chief Justice, we assure you that the Ministry of Finance will continue to stand with you, as we have been doing over the recent years, to achieve the goals set in the strategic plan. Those goals include expanding access to justice across all 15 counties, reducing case backlog and delay, strengthening judicial independence, ethics, and capacity, modernizing court operations with technology, and building public trust and stakeholder engagement. The Ministry of Finance will continue to be a key partner in mobilizing government and donor resources to achieve the goals and targets set in the strategic plan. We do so because we believe that translating the plan to reality are gains not just for the Chief Justice or the judiciary, those will be gains or are gains for the government and for the people of Nigeria. As a testament to the government's abiding commitment.
7444591 0888 875 551 0777 444 591 0777 444 591 0888 875 551. And when you get his number, you will talk to the chief executive officer and you can begin to talk about this issue and to get your health journey on. And Marie Maga is Liberia. Let me say good morning to all of you and welcome. Don't joke about this. Marie Maga has proven to be so much effective and has cured a lot of folks. There are so many people having the testimonies of Marie Maga. You can just be the next person with this. Just be the next person with the testimony of Marie Maga, because your health is your wealth. When you are healthy, you are able to do exactly.
To an effective and independent judiciary, we have increased the judiciary's budget from $18.5 million in 2023 to $33.3 million in 2026. This represents an 80% increase over a 3-year period. And we have not reached the bus stop. Within the current budget, we have earmarked funds for the construction of courts and the effective operations of courts across the country. We are funding this project because honor-equipped courts cannot fearlessly defend the public interest. We are modernizing the judiciary's infrastructure to accelerate the adjudication of cases and bring dignity to the courts. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, President Walker often says, if we pretend to pay people, people will pretend to work. One principle we hold dear is that those who work in public service are making invaluable contributions to the achievement of our development agenda and must therefore be paid decently and timeously. Judges in particular are a strong pillar as they are restricted from doing other things that others can do to supplement their income. That is why when we began in 2025 to implement our multi-year plan to improve the remuneration and conditions of service of public servants, we prioritize those on the Supreme Court bench and judges of subordinate courts by restoring the remuneration package to pre-harmonization levels. We have also made upward adjustments in the remuneration of magistrates and other judicial workers. We note that we have not reached our desired destination on our journey of upward pay adjustments for public servants. What will bridge the gap between our intention and our action will be our ability to continue to grow government revenue while at the same time reading in non-priority expenditure pressures. To you, distinguished graduates of James A. Pierre Judicial Institute, you are exiting the simulated comfort of the classroom today, and we step directly into the complex crucible crucible of public service. The public life you have chosen is one where your fondness, most honest hours may often go entirely unnoticed by the public, while a single misstep will be amplified across the nation. You must do your work exceptionally well, simply because it is right, not because it is celebrated. As I usually say, your job is simply to do your job. However, when the critics and cynics speak, do not dismiss them outright. True leadership demands that we listen. Your task as judicial workers is to learn how to separate constructive critique from toxic noise, possessing the humility to accept what is useful to your growth and the inner strength to reject what is false. Public service is a daily, unyielding test of your judgment, your emotional stability, and your courage. As your careers unfold across leaderships and authority, some of you will advance rapidly into higher courts, while others may progress more slowly. Those of you who will advance quickly must never look down on those who move slowly. And those who move slowly must not envy. Through steady discipline and quiet hard work, your time will surely come. The real examination begins after the
court, following His Honor the presiding Justice in Chamber, Judge Yusuf B. Kabah. This issue of juror tampering, the case that the investigation that was centered around the former Minister of Finance, Planning and Development, Samuel D. Twere, but then the acting Chief Justice at the time, to Councillor Yanti Twan, former Financial Intelligence Agency Director General Stanley S4, former FIA Controller Moses Cooper, and former National Security Advisor to the former President George William Jefferson Kamau. So these were the folks who were charged for economic sabotage and a lot of other things, when they said there was this security threat ahead of the 2023 election. So money was taken from the coverts, and this government decided to probe into it to know what the threat, and asked in the process that if people give account. And they said for security reasons, because they took instruction, some of the records were saying that this person will collect the money in the name, cash it the same day, and that just would be it. So some of the agencies that were announced that money went to when the investigation was done, a lot of them denied record could not be proven to show that they actually did some of these things, or they were their own involvement. So they went to trial. And following that, the former minister and one of his co-defendants were acquitted. Here, Moses Cooper. And it became a concern. We have all of these people under one umbrella, and the charges leveled against them were all the same. You had Jefferson Kamau, who also former advisor, security advisor to the president, and former lawmaker to who he was also there saying they need a separate trial. But following the ruling that acquitted Twere and his co-defendant, there was this allegation, there was some suspicion in the public that the jury were being tampered with. And the questions people have been asking, how did it happen? Because the two parties always have people on these people looking at it. They talk about the security, the lawyers, How did these people get access to the jury? We got a report of fumes and oil where their calls have been made, how these things happen. So when that news broke out, the Supreme Court took siege of that matter and saw it as something that is very key because it borders around the judiciary sector, that we might have people just there for the paycheck and not for integrity and not holding the law and making sure that it's fully implemented, that anybody can infiltrate or penetrate the system and influence decisions that come up to favor a particular person or party. So they launched this investigation into the matter. Tomorrow, 2 p.m., criminal could see the investigation already been done, Ambassador. They have written the parties and the legal teams to appear on Tuesday, July 21, 2026, 2 p.m. for the disclosure of the court report and finding following an inquiry into the claim that the integrity of the jury process may have been compromised or tampered with.
Yeah, because we also want to know.
We want to know because at the end of the day, if the report comes out and say, yeah, the people were tampered with, will it be a learning for or a lesson that how are we being selecting these people and how do these people will have access to these people when these people are under investigation? Or is it now we reach a point that we drop all of these things and they go based on the facts that before us?
We hope that they go serious.
And don't be surprised tomorrow. We don't want to see people to the court again in the name that they're going to stay in solidarity because this is a report that coming up. Because if they report that these people will be tampered with under the law, there will be retrial.
We don't want.
We also people who facilitated the process and the jury who accepted what would be their punishment because all of these things must be put into place because they accepted all of the conditions to serve a jury. They know exactly what they should do and what not to do. So if there's a breach, they must be penalized as well.
And those who tamper with them,
yes,
what will happen to them? Because if I saw these kids,
so if for instance, if Twe, former Minister Twe, or whoever, actually would be the one that yes, they facilitated did this for the outcome of the result. I mean, do we still need to have a retrial or before the retrial? Because if it comes up that these people were actually tampered with, and there's a decision that they say, look, there were missteps, so the trial will file in for retrial for the entire procedure. Will we lock these people up or will they still be walking around? Because the more they outside the freedom they have, internet, we're not keeping the kind of surveillance on these people. Or is it that we're having people who do not have the kind of a character or morals and placing them, who just walk in the street and take people from there, they can't go serve at juror?
We hope that it should not be the case where they still won't get a job. But when the kids on money will be coming.
Yeah.
And you know, if this whole
and this borders on the integrity of the judicial system, it tells you that if this proof that jury tampering took place, it just tells you that this is just the tip of the iceberg.
I mean, what may have been?
Yeah, maybe we'll go back to the $100 million just get to the jury that brought it down.
This is where we'll now begin to understand every time government gets case, government loses a case.
No, but
yeah, they will believe it.
No, you just made it.
Because for other reasons, sometimes we see from the indication, though, when I just see when the physical outside part of the case is here, how you looking. But why every time government get case?
And the way government will present the case to the public, you know that they will bring a strong case to the public. You see the public opinion and view all into it. They want to see the outcome. When the outcome, people get so frustrated about winner. It's just how we see the 19 million drugs on. Eh? Who knows why even those suspects or those who been charged that behind bars, not having influence, we know whether the people visiting them overnight.
Ambassador, we heard that the first consignment that we know that left. Let me just say what the justification that left. We're hearing now some report that the people who received the goods that were saying that just passed, they posted on drugs. You see
When they post those things like drug.
So government will carry case. Go yes,
But what?
That
But listen, the thing is simple. They manifest that labor. What was in the thing? They the document before receive where they are drawn on it. So they like he didn't supposed to be there all the time.
We expect that drugs.
No. And the post that document show that what they receive that drugs.
So
government
will expose government.
That only even God they say let help, then you what you receive that thing might be passed.
Because if for any reason there are substantiated evidence that the children were tampered with, then we'll go back.
No, but besides, it's a long rope. How?
Because they will be looking at the arrangement of the jurors.
How about the selection done?
Yeah.
What are these people were?
Why
they were influential in it and telling my man?
How they protected where the jurors they are that somebody will carry cell phone?
Yeah. So the security at the gate, how did he allow? So there was no search. Who were carrying the food? Where the people were cooking?
Man, they carry the cell phone there. They were there communicating. They hit it off. The case coming to the case ended. They disbanded the jury for this. Oh, cell phone, I know.
And the jury are paid for the time they are
Yeah.
there. So will they restitute?
Because the time when the cell phone enter, the time is hotel. But they didn't do it till the end.
You know what? They said reportedly, I think 3 of the jury.
Yeah.
They broke it out that, well, you know. If money was given to them because sometimes like this, the father can't be really kids, Charlie, now they see the way they 90 million kids at the bottom line, they say that someone has the whole crossing.
So, Mr. free for 2, they won't get a lot of money.
He said, well, how many men go on? No, I will talk it.
Wow, we're talking. Because we don't get that money again. We don't get money get received. No agreement is there on that. So let me just say the whole thing here. We're not happy. But money change hands. It's serious.
Because if it is true that the jury were being tampered with, meaning for all indication, to know that he committed the crime.
Yeah.
Because if the ruling, we're saying that the ruling tomorrow, the finding, the official report that says that yes, the juror were tampered with or 12 were involved, this person involved, whoever involved, meaning the crime that the crime that been alleged that they committed, they were being tried for.
Yeah.
They committed that crime.
You committed a crime, how you go tamper with juror?
What?
With the jury pool. You know something, right? That is why you went there. So therefore,
now upon the reading or the finding that yes, these people were being tampered with, not a single soul that being charged should be even walking around.
No.
They should just place them behind bar until the trial starts. Because leaving it out, we are not sophisticated. Leaving it out, so he drives the car around in the middle of the night, anywhere he wants to go. Nobody knows who he's talking to. Jefferson Camo, that security man, he understand.
Well,
you know how to go around.
What tomorrow can stop that can happen, man. If they put inside peace, before they connect somebody for money, but they put outside so they can go
so the Ministry of Justice or whatever, they can tell us what level of security they provided to where the jurors were.
We want to know.
And how. So those people who were involved, because tomorrow, when I will say this thing, it has reached the point where it's critical to know that the system is not working, but people are making it to work.
So you tell them that Arthur Johnson, one of the lead lawyer of the country,
Arthur spent almost 2 years, we spend thousands of taxpayer money. Then we come back to hear that probably somebody will come out of somebody can say the temple with the people.
Yeah.
Then we go to retrial. So who pays for the money that was spent in the process?
So
the legal people,
I
hope as the period Bodo Jara listening, he can call and weigh in this money.
We spend the money we're looking for, we spend pretty close to the money. We're looking for 6.1, 6.2 million. Then mean I will spend 6.2 million on the case before we come to the end. Because
why will you leave now?
Because if the whole thing comes to go back to square one for any reason, we'll get new jurors.
How, you know, how are we doing the selection?
The case will go back in court. The evidence will be presented again. To come to prove yet or two.
And it's the same drug problem now we still having with the Arsenal attack.
That's
People
the
the judge, when the other person, the other person had connection in the selection that was done.
The last time I said, oh, they want to take the case outside most rather because the media and all is accusing us.
Yeah.
Well, we are the most credible institution in this country. But it's accusing us. So we won't know. So that reason behind government losing cases, we won't know.
So they've been searching for tomorrow for the disclosure of the court reports and finding. So when
if the whole thing in Barcelona, if there are unsubstantiated allegation for anything, right? Yeah, if it's not proven, that means the case will go to where it stopped. The true business ban.
And to continue his
go. The other men will start finding space for them.
Yeah.
You see?
No, but that's it. That's the outcome. So if
the
report comes out that there was nothing of such misconduct in jury tampering, Twe is a free man.
Twe go free.
Yeah, amen. The rest of other people, meaning they should start serving them.
They start taking a pillow to go.
No, nobody carrying pillow over there. The one that they will sleep on it. The one that people been sleeping on for the 3, 4, 5 years. They sweat up on it. They will go sleep. You know.
Why we actually afraid people who have committed acts in the country, when we see guiltiness coming, we see some disease coming out. But when a young boy, when a young woman out there, they carry them straight up visual speed. You see that? And so they get into the court around 3, 4 o'clock. They say, "Oh, come to close."
So
the
court in the investigation they went on, they engaged the jurors, lawyers, representing both sides.
Where did the
an individual considered relevant to determining whether any improper influence, interference, or misconduct occurred during the trial process? It's a long chain.
Where did they carry the juror that they allowed cell phone to enter? Where were the security? Where were they?
Maybe they put it in a slash bread.
How were they communicating up the law that we came to the end full?
Maybe I told the officer to the kid, I said, man,
but they join the whole thing.
Say, man, the whole thing for 5 things, you know, you can buy one,
yeah.
And that guy didn't want yet.
And they are all leaking.
Yeah. He said, you know, you can get one lane when it's in.
And result.
It's considered, yeah.
It will be a very serious setback. Whatever which way it goes, on a serious note. Because if the case go back, they say, retrial, that money. If the case go, they say, oh, no evidence, there, the case pursued. It's a serious issue in the whole sabotage case. But this is where we are, Liberians. We wait to hear and see what pans out at.
Or is it something that government doing it by all costs to have these people convicted, that they will play all of the games and make it look like they want in the eyes that we must do this thing because, or meaning they want to show sign of strength and not of weakness that, look, we're not weak, you know. So which side, you know, what happened? What's the take from your side looking at this issue? What's the outcome you expect tomorrow?
We wait to see.
But it's tomorrow is the final disclosure of the investigation. The report's going to be out, and the parties being invited to go there and look at all of these things. 0775 919 919 0880 919 919 are the numbers you can call us on now to be part of the conversation. You know, this long case, people being acquitted. At the internet, say no, people were being tampered with. So tomorrow is the day. Good morning.
Good morning,
Good morning, Donna.
I'm Derek Brown from the I think you were talking on discussion. You see, what tomorrow we are all here to hear what the kids will be done tomorrow. But for all indication, they say, God, you know how rocket scientists will tell you that in 2 or 3 more ways. They say, I'm not working on and so what's that? You know, you do instruction for report. And if you don't throw in your power, Brian Samuga, well, what was coming to that girl from Brian Samuga? I was not one that you want to do media that great people. And the father or Northern Abolo, they always here we have to sit down and look at it. Let the kids begin pastor. Let everybody, let money for 2 years, we allow Muluba. We pay indirectly pay our taxes. And we want to know how our money being used. Let it be used for kids that are out there who are benefit. Even after not benefit right now, let the next generation benefit. One person I think you're putting out 4 years, and I don't want to go 4 days, the other 4 boys there tomorrow. Just here for me tomorrow, every year, I'm not sure. Then when it's brought tomorrow for 2 years, the other 4 boys going directly tomorrow again. So let us sit down, let's see the kids being pastor. Let the kids come to run down. Let's go tomorrow. So thank you for talking about the soil, sir.
Thank you for being part of the conversation. Let's talk to other callers. Good morning. 0775-919-919, 0880-919-919. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Wiggy.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Donna. This is coming from Gaza. Not this, and nobody can that. You see, they have been number. They just call them the case. Why these people? I mean, yeah, city will be there. Why? And if somebody they want to, so those lawyers, those judges, and the security are the ones who act their out. Because when you come for the party, you have the government lawyer, or else you come and bring the lawyer. So I do some more. Anything happening for some? You say, something not be approved. What is our
Yeah, so that's why tomorrow, Tuesday, hearing is to provide clarity on whether the allegation were substantial or whether the jury process was compromised or whether it was error from those who selected those jurors.
Okay, so make the point.
Okay, let's talk to other callers. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Bar.
Mr. Christian Nelson, go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Look, actually, what is a 40-hour country is about government. Nobody believes the system. This is why things running aside. Even you have the ministers, the representatives, all of those people, even the medical institution, the party when they say they go out, they send their children to go out. Everyone in the judicial system, everyone. So this is why things working out there. Somebody will come up tomorrow and
because this is one of Liberia's most closely watched corruption trials.
Yeah. Everything here is fair. So this is why we are doing like that. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's talk to other callers. You like. Good morning.
Yeah, we keep this fine. We keep that case for the manipulation cases, that's when it. For you can see even the evidence. We want the evidence to provide for suspicion. For their children to be expecting a country, they're not making that work to get to work. Because on living looking for small things that will gain, that will not be benefit the people of beyond that work to come. They just quit their mind. That means they will sit and take a look at where people think to get teachers. Think that will only for the state. I need a top to get that thing. I have to be like this and what I got is to free for the kids. So our people have to do it. But thank you that you brought it out. Our people are listening and everybody wants to take it out of the get what much getting
Tomorrow is deep into the matter to know, because to some extent too, when they say the jury were temporary, but it did not affect the outcome of the case, meaning the court it continued from where it stopped. So we have to take all of that into consideration. It is not, and we hope that people will not just fix their mind that by all costs the man needs to be convicted if he's not found guilty. But it is because allegations were leveled that they were jury tampering, so they've been able to ask them to talk to lawyers, to talk to all of those relatives.
Yeah, because those jurors have to produce evidence. Who said that there was cell phone? It gotta be tangible one, very solid evidence.
Cell phone, who they spoke to on the phone,
Yeah.
so we start to know all of these things. But if we can prove it, it's another waste of time. Good morning.
Lone Star Orange to subpoena those numbers.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You know, thank you very much for the public honor discussion. You know, there are concrete problems, it's just compound complex. But you know, the God of each service, he will speak for his people. You know, our government, this special government, they just spending our money, spending our money. We give it depending on our money. Yes, we can have a real, the ego is meant to always answer them. People suffering in the country, they just can't get to the reallocate that money, they can help the Nigerian people. The president that man want to talk all the time he made it, he had like money. What he brought with us? What he brought for us? He brought nothing for us. You get take a lot. They say, oh, take a lot for you. What will you do ahead of you? It's not supposed to be not for well. Anyway, first one is not coming with self ourselves. And to our representatives and senators, they gotta be there. We look at the woman I tell you better in the market. We'll vote for the woman I tell you better in the travel. Well, when we go, they go. Thank you very much. I'm just permission here for the Jericho community.
You're welcome to be part of the conversation as we go. Let's talk to other callers on the line. You're live. Good morning. Liberian people, 1006. Good morning. 0775-919-919. To this caller, please be attentive. You live.
Good morning, Ambassador Wiggy Brooks.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, I'm Maurice Chicano calling from Soul Clinic.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I always listen to the program. You guys, you always give good analysis. But you were talking about these people who were charged for corruption and not in jail. But remember, years back, we thought Toro and Doe administration, we have charged for corruption. Any of them arrest you being in jail, they bring you to court.
Yes.
But this time around, we don't know where the country is heading.
Is it all the lawyers stand for them?
Yeah.
But the man who attempted allegedly to check somebody's cell phone, he stayed there waiting for trial. It's in South Beach.
It's a clear indication we never been ready for this country. You guys give more education to our people, but we're not learning. We're not learning anything in this country. And how the country will just be. Thank you.
Thank you for being part of the conversation. Good morning. Okay, to this caller on the line. You're live. Good morning. You know you're ready to talk. You
Don't
get on
call
the
the
line.
line.
Or you know what you
Like
want, or you know what you want to say. Do you hold the phone and you thinking what you can say? No, we don't do that here. Let's talk to other callers. You're live.
Good morning.
Please go ahead.
Good morning. This is Matthew. Marsha calling from Succulent Bank.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much this morning. You know, I'm a regular listener of this show called and you guys are doing well. Remember, our country, you know, those people that are stealing government money, they go to the judges, and the judges are there to also collect our money. So our country not going away. So I'm so afraid, even the war and the people they want to establish the country. Who's going to really take over that foot? If we get our bread, then the same thing, same problem we face in this country. Because no government case that goes in our court, government will win it. All the cases that we go through in this country, government fight everything, government does everything. And we've seen it. We're going through it. We have people suffering. We've seen what's going on.
go there and begin to change around. Papa, thank you. Nothing about education. We are not supposed to be talking about. Thank you.
Thanks for being part of the conversation. Yes, Liberians are watching. This is one of the most high-profile corruption trial cases in this country. And so people are waiting to see and hear exactly tomorrow what's the outcome from the findings. What did people tamper with? If they did, who did it? And how did it happen? Because there is no way.
What was wrong with the arrangement?
Yes.
Because
they said that they just put these people in one house and nobody watching over there. And
they go in there in the evening time or in the night, man, go to them to be a part of, drink, then they go back.
Or they allow their relatives to go visit them.
You see?
Or even the very people who have been tried, who go there in the night, sit down there in jail, have some fun time, pop some champagne, eat little chicken, all that kind of thing.
Then they lying to us or telling us something that, oh, the poor, nobody in contact with them more. They are safe. They are somewhat safe.
Yeah.
So we can know. Because we can't control the trailer.
Then we can know that, then we start to look back on some cases that people, when people thought that the person were to be convicted, but at the end of the day, the court ruled in their favor.
Sure. Because there are so many high-profile cases in this country. Years ago, you asked for them and you didn't get the ENT.
No.
You can't. There are even some people that try and send in South Beach. When you ask where they are,
yeah.
You
go and ask for someone, eh?
Yeah.
And yeah, other man, Brown and say, or in jail, how he left from jail today, the man ain't in country.
You see that?
Then they charging him again. That man supposed to be charged again when the man was not even supposed to be outside.
Grab the man and put in the play where he am, you come outside to run away. How you want to run away? How you want to leave that place? If we ask the person what hands go on there, no cases there, what it took over the town. How? Newspapers were covering all about the shop. What did we say? Where they at?
They maintain a business, man.
But our children, they catch them 1 or 2 parcels, or because you go hungry, stole somebody old drum from the yard.
Somebody pass.
They in jail. The people, they wash the pot and put it outside so they can get it.
Somebody put their bed sheet outside, you look left.
Yeah. When they catch him, peeing, carrying, that he don't get, that the other person can still only stop peace. 5 years, 10 years, 15 years.
Okay, folks, we will draw the curtains on this wonderful, wonderful day, the 20th in the month of July. 6 days ago, as Liberia prepared to celebrate 179. I'd like to say good morning and thanks to Grand Naomi Penge for always following this place for Johnsonville, always following the show. But I'm Wiggy Brooks.
I'm not following it for. Check it.
Many thanks to T. Nicholas Barkley.
Somebody could go and get, how do you call it, a contract with someone or first